Hey everybody, Maction here, and I know why you're here today. You want to know if this Polaroid Kids tablet version 2 is something that you can get for your children and they won't destroy it in a week. And the answer is yes. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you Okay, so you probably want a little bit more information than that. The Polaroid Kids tablet version 2 builds on the foundation that the first version gave for it. Now, that particular version I had the luxury of doing a road trip review with some of my nephews, but unfortunately not the same luxury here, so instead I handed it off to 3 different families, and therefore 3 different groups of children for the past month, and it's held up pretty well under the abuse. The rugged construction does work pretty well, and pretty much everything from the first version, this tablet has doubled. For example, it has 2 cameras instead of just 1, a 0.3 megapixel front-facing camera and a 2 megapixel rear-facing camera. Additionally, it also has a larger screen. Now, they call it an HD screen, but to give you the actual resolution, it is 1024 by 600. So kind of on the low end for the resolution but of an HD screen, but you know, it's something you're supposed to be handing off to children, remember? Now, it does, of course, keep some of the great designs like the bumper along the edge and the grips along the side to help smaller children, as well as the buttons all along the front face of the tablet. Much easier for children to press. It's a lot zippier with about double the processing power, a dual-core 1.6 GHz processor, and twice the RAM, weighing in at 1 GB of RAM. Of course, you can expand the memory, which it comes stock with 8 GB of storage space. You can expand it through the SD card slot on the bottom. Now, the tablet does perform reasonably well, but I think the most important question that you're asking is, how do children like it? And so far, the reception that I've had has been overwhelmingly positive. They really like the games and the storybooks. There's interactive storybooks that are bundled with it, as well as, I believe, 70 games in the arcade. And for those of you parents who are going to have to try and set everything up, Polaroid got pretty much everything condensed into, a little thing about yay long. So, not a lot of instruction, but they did keep it reasonably simple. So it's easy to add on your parental controls, make sure that the apps you don't want your children accessing are locked off to them, but at the same time that if you need it, you can undo the parental controls temporarily and do what you need to on the tablet. Now, it does come with the Google Play Store, which is a nice change from the first version, which didn't have it and you had to make do with some other stores. This does have the Google Play Store in addition to its own personal app stores, which gives you a lot more variety in the type of apps that you can get for your children, and additionally, through the parental controls, anything that you don't want a certain child to have access to, you can lock off, and it's really no problem at all to do so. Now, there is one major drawback, and that is, though double the processing power, double the RAM, and, a larger screen, and a brighter screen as well, it does have the exact same battery size as the first Polaroid Kids tablet, which means that it does not go quite as far on a charge. You can bank on getting 3+ hours from a single charge of this, even under some of the most strenuous game playing of your children. But under some circumstances like road trips, that does tend to be a little bit of an issue. So that is the thing that you should really know going in on the Polaroid Kids tablet version 2, where it retails for about $149.99. You can pick it up on sale for about $100, and it does a pretty reasonable job of everything you want it to do, with the exception of it doesn't have very much longevity on the battery life. That's something that I hope that Polaroid will address in future versions of the Kids tablet, but it improves on pretty much everything that the first Kids tablet did well and does better, granted with the exception of battery life. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed, and if you have, a comment or a like would be most appreciated. It's your feedback that lets me know how to best allocate my time in the things that you want to see. If you click on any of the links around here, you'll be taken to a playlist with more of that particular brand of madness. And be sure to subscribe so that you can always be the first to know when I have some new content out. Thanks again, and see you around. Now, I would at some point in time maybe even consider saying things about benchmarks, but the kids don't really care about benchmarks, and I don't know if something with an orange bumper you're particularly interested in with benchmarks, so there's that.